Everybody got their mics on up here?
Oh, I see.
I think he'll try to be short and sweet.
Good morning. We'll go ahead and get started then. I'm Deborah Gilg. I'm the United States Attorney for Nebraska. With me today is Randy Theise, who is Special Agent in charge of the FBI, Colonel Brad Rice, Superintendent of Nebraska State Patrol, and North Platte Police Chief Mike Swain. All three of them will be giving some comments after I'm through here. Sort of, now that we have the procedure down, I think those of you who are in the room, there's been handouts that are on the table that have both a written press statement. It also has for you a handy-dandy list of all the individuals that have been charged, along with their date of births, their hometowns insofar as we know, the charges that they were charged with, and the possible penalty. So you have that you can take with you. You will also, when you get this, or when you picked it up, will notice that there are some highlighted names on here. The highlighted names are the individuals who are still fugitives, and we'll get into that as I start my statement. But I wanted you to have that so that you could take it with you. The other thing is that there is a sample indictment that is laying on the table for the Apodakas. I just happened to bring that since they were local. Normally, when we do these press conferences, we try to have a copy of each of the indictments, but because of the numbers involved here, that was not possible for us to do. But all of you in the media know that you can access the federal court's website and you can download each and every one of these individuals and the indictments, because the indictments were unsealed by the court's office this morning around 9 o'clock. So now they're publicly available, and you can go to the website and you can download them if you choose to do that. I would tell you that for those of you who are used to seeing indictments on the federal level that are what we call a speaking indictment, that have a lot of factual information in it, because these are drug cases, they do not have all that factual information in it. So basically what you're going to see is what that sample indictment that's lying on the table, laying forth the drug charges. So I just want to have full disclosure there before you go and decide that you're going to download 59 or 60 indictments and pay the price for that, thinking you're going to get additional information about the charges or the factual situation. You won't. So you might want to save your employer's money with regard to that. Now, it is my great pleasure to be announcing this groundbreaking number of federal indictments that took place and the arrests that have been a consequence of those arrests. We have had 60 federal indictments of major meth dealers in west central and western Nebraska, and there were also 4 state charges. This is the largest drug sweep to our knowledge in Nebraska history that's taken place in west central and western Nebraska. The individuals that have been arrested, as I indicated to you previously, 6 of them are highlighted on that handout sheet, are still fugitives. We would ask for the public's help in locating them, so if you would publicize those names of the individuals that are still fugitives, we would kindly request that you publicize to the public that anyone with information pertaining to the whereabouts of those fugitives contact local law enforcement and give that information to local law enforcement. Please, we don't want any citizens going out trying to apprehend these individuals. We want them simply to contact law enforcement for that to happen. These dealers really are the who's list of major meth dealers in west central and western Nebraska. They are believed to be responsible for the distribution of methamphetamine in multiple areas ranging from Scottsbluff, Gering, Morrill area, Big Springs, North Platte, McCook, Cozad, Lexington, Kearney, Grand Island, Hastings, as well as several towns in Colorado, and including Julesburg, and I believe we may have had an arrest or two in Omaha. We believe that these methamphetamine drugs have passed through at least 4 states, Arizona, Colorado, Utah, and Oklahoma, before they made their way to Nebraska. And the origin, insofar as we believe, the origin of methamphetamine is coming from the cartels in Mexico. One of the remarkable things for me to be standing here is 2 years to this date. On February 26, 2014, I stood in North Platte at the North Platte Police Department with a lot of the officers that are here in this room today, congratulating them on a federal indictment in a drug sweep we had done involving methamphetamine and 17 individuals. And in fact, the drug task force involved in that particular case got recognition on a regional basis from the High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Organization, which is part of a national organization under the control of the White House. And those same individuals that I was congratulating 2 years to this date, we're back in this room again, and this time we're talking about this significant major drug sweep of meth dealers in the same areas. And what we found is, although the investigation for this particular case has taken approximately a year or so, a lot of the information that led to this investigation and to these arrests sprung from the 17 arrests that were made by individuals in the drug task force out here in western and west central Nebraska 2 years ago. So that goes to show you that we are committed to a sustained effort at eradicating meth dealers and getting rid of this horrendous drug in Nebraska. Meth remains the #1 drug threat in Nebraska, and it's only with a collaborative effort like we've had here with 30 different law enforcement agencies, including state, local, federal, Colorado FBI, state law enforcement agencies from eastern Colorado, as well as all of our groups here in Nebraska, that things like this can happen. And I think it's also a testament to the hard work, the sustained commitment that the drug investigators and the drug task force have to taking down these individuals and getting rid of them out of our communities, and having our communities and our children grow up in safer communities that don't have this horrible drug. And so I want to publicly express my appreciation for the FBI, which led this investigation, and for all of the agencies that along the way that helped with this, that collaborated with this. United States Marshal Service helped with the arrest. I want to say, of the 58 arrests, we have had no injuries in any of those arrests. The arrests have all gone very peacefully, and I think that's also is a remarkable testament to the professionalism of these drug task forces and the officers. Because let me tell you, when the arrests were made, there were some search warrants were executed, and what we do know in the drug enforcement area is that drugs and guns go together. So let me tell you about what the federal and state search warrants seized when these arrests went down. With reference to the federal search warrants, it resulted in the seizure of one sawed-off shotgun, a handgun, approximately $17,250 in cash, as well as 3 vehicles valued at $85,000. The state search warrants that were executed resulted in almost an equal amount of cash, $17,500, but it also resulted in the seizure of 2 pounds of meth and 5 guns. There were some unrelated arrests that people that wound up getting arrested, even though we didn't actually have our federal indictment or the state charges, but as part of the roundup, they were found to have be worthy of being arrested for criminal offenses. And on those unrelated arrests resulted in a rifle being seized, a ballistic vest, and 16 grams of ecstasy. So you can see how this goes together, drugs and guns, and when we get rid of the drugs, we also pick up, seize the guns, and try and reduce the violence that results from these drug dealers. So I would like to now have Special Agent Randy Theise from the FBI make a few remarks. You all have the agenda, and you'll know his remarks will be followed by Colonel Rice and then by our North Platte Police Chief. At the conclusion of remarks, we will be glad to answer any questions that you may have. So,
Thank you. Again, my name's Randy Theise. I'm the Special Agent in charge of the FBI for the Omaha Division. Very proud to be here. Started my career with the FBI 26 years ago. My very first bank robbery, have very fond memories of that. It was solved through the assistance of a police department very close to here,